Hi, I'm Steve Davies. I'm the EMEA FinTech leader for PwC. I'd like to share with you some of the insights from our 2017 survey, Redrawing the Lines, FinTech's Growing Influence on Financial Services. This follows on from our 2016 survey, Blurred Lines. We recently previewed the survey at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. What's very clear from the Congress, and also comes through very strongly in the survey, is how increasingly financial services companies are collaborating and working with organisations from different sectors. And FinTech is very much about how do the incumbent organisations really leverage this broad opportunity to be able to drive meaningful change in their business. We saw lots of emerging technologies, authentication, mobile technology, but also blockchain and distributed ledger technology, which are really coming through strong. And again, these are all themes that we see in the global survey. At Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and in various conversations with clients, we see a focus on different types of technology. Our survey highlighted some of these areas. Over 30% of respondents identified artificial intelligence and machine learning as a critical area of driving change. Perhaps more importantly, over 77% of participants anticipate that they will have blockchain systems in production by 2020. This is an important finding because we see a lot of hype around blockchain today, and the move out of the lab and into production is going to start to drive real change. A consistent theme that we see in FinTech is how do you drive meaningful change? We've seen FinTechs move from trying to take on the incumbents to actually trying to work with them. And we also see large incumbent organisations struggle to deliver meaningful change, either in terms of cost reduction or impact on their customers, and look at FinTech as a way to be able to drive that forward. Indeed, you could argue that FinTech is really a manifestation of the R&D function and capability of the financial services industry emerging outside of the industry, because there really is a lack of innovation taking place today. So that's a real positive. But when we see FinTechs and established organisations come together, there's often a mismatch of expectations. And so we see large organisations expect very quick returns and also very focused outcomes from their FinTech investments. The survey suggests that the average threshold for return on investment in this area is 20%, which may in fact be too high, particularly if this is genuine R&D. So while it's interesting that the focus is definitely coming through, there may be an ongoing challenge around how do we set expectations and we drive meaningful value out of the investments that we're making. One of the trends that we see in the survey, and we saw in client conversations at Mobile World Congress, is how FinTech is more about innovation and established incumbents coming together to solve problems. We've previously looked at FinTech challenges looking to take on the banks or the insurance companies, but now they're both increasingly coming together. From the survey, we saw that 88% of incumbents are increasingly worried about losing revenue to innovators. And so correspondingly, 77% of respondents are looking at how they can increase innovation in how they drive change in their business. What we also saw is that 82% are looking to establish partnerships as a way to be able to drive that change. In our survey, we can see coming through some critical technology trends, but also a key theme about how do you manage expectations around investments in FinTech. We've seen a lot of different financial service market participants embrace the FinTech agenda, look at different technologies, visit different areas, and try and understand how to drive change. So there's been a lot of investment made, but at the same time, some careful expectations management needs to be put in place about how does that change really impact the business. So this is our second FinTech survey. Over the course of that period, we've seen some commentators question FinTech and suggest it might be a bubble. Our survey suggests actually it's evolving. And what we see is FinTech less about challenging and trying to take on the established incumbents, and more about how do they work with them. From an established financial services participant perspective, it's very clear that trying to drive meaningful change is extremely difficult. Change that takes significant costs out of the business and change that drives significant impact for customers. But FinTech is being embraced as a way to be able to drive that forward. There are clearly some challenges around expectations management and how you think about that investment, but a lot of exciting investment in a lot of different technologies. So we encourage you to take a look at the report and to reach out to us.